It's great to be back here at the TIA celebrating 30 years of BC's growing and successful tech ecosystem. And actually, CIBC has been a sponsor for nearly 30 of those years. Last year when I gave the capital markets address, we were in the longest tech IPO drought in over 20 years and seeing material declines in VC and M&A activity. And well, the quiet markets continued, as you all know. But you know what? There's a glimmer of hope. There's been a tech public market recovery in 2023, led by the AI-fueled performance of the Magnificent Seven. There's always a term for these companies, right? And this group's share price is up 6 times more than the S&P. So very, very strong recovery there. We see potential for new advancements in generative AI to fuel the next tech supercycle. And we're really excited to see some emerging BC tech companies beginning to ride that wave. Charlie AI is in the room. Shout out for Charlie AI. The US tech IPO market as well, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed, has cracked open, which is great to see. We've seen offerings from ARM, Instacart, and Klaviyo. We will have to wait to see, ideally, we've got these companies trading above their IPO price, so we actually have an IPO market, and encourages others to get out there and raise capital through the IPO market. From the VC perspective, after a really explosive year in 2021, it tailed off, obviously. We saw declines in the 2022. Things seem to be reversing course here in Canada, though, with volumes up in the last quarter. We've got some notable deals in British Columbia in 2023, so shout out for Layer Zero, Abdera, PH7 Technologies, and ZenHub. Other great news out there, our BC funds have continued to close successful new rounds, including Yaletown, Raven Indigenous Capital Partners, and Pender Ventures. Data shows that Canadian VC managers that raised funds in 2011-2013 time period, after the financial crisis, deliver their best net returns over the last 10 years. So I bet we are going to see fantastic returns by our BC funds. Turning to the M&A market, that also decelerated, obviously, as buyers and sellers kind of recalibrated to the market conditions. And there was uncertainty around valuations. Now that we're seeing more stability in valuations, we expect to see a good, solid rebound, not only from the strategics, but the deep-pocketed PE buyers. One key theme we're seeing is the acquisition of the companies that in the last IPO class. This year in Canada, we saw Take Private's Magnet Forensics and the sale of Dialogue. The deal of the year, I gotta say, it's gotta go to our own Carbon Engineering, US $1.1 billion sale to their partner and shareholder, Occidental. So congratulations to that team. That team also has some heritage in the McDonald Detweiler family as well, with a lot of shareholder help out of that company. And together, Occidental and the Carbon Engineering team, they're going to continue to invest and globally deploy their direct air capture technology. The one thing I would say with all this kind of market data that I'm giving you, it doesn't capture all the hard work done by our BC companies. They really had to reset things over the past couple of years. It's a more challenging macroeconomic environment, and there's been a strong desire to push towards driving revenue growth while at the same time achieving EBITDA profitability. That is tough to do. And so hats off to the companies that have accomplished this as well.